Hey fam, Gracie here once again. Welcome back to the channel. I am hoping that from wherever you, my people, are watching this from, you're doing all right and God has protected you and preserved you very well. And to you that continuously give support to me on here, I do appreciate you and I don't take any of you for granted. And to my members, I give you a shout out for being, exclusive supporters to this channel. That really means a lot to me. Even today we have another one to look at. This story really went viral and I've been seeing lots of people giving their perspectives and opinions about it, and considering how the times are for melanated people in America, I think it would be worth looking at. This is a palm-colored lady that faked tears while she was on, someone's property, and she pretended to not believe that he lives there and started screaming. When the wife to the husband that was in the truck comes out, is like, but this is my husband. Then she pretends to apologize and she's like, I don't know, I didn't know that he lives here. And yet she actually asked, do you live here? And he said, yeah. And she was like, I don't believe you. Guys, we're going to look at this and come back and give a few cents about it.
What's going on? Do you live here?
Yeah.
You do?
Papa.
I don't believe that.
What?
I don't believe that.
So what are you doing here?
Roy, come on. Roy, come on.
Hey.
Did someone come here?
That was my wife. Somebody chased her up here. And she has the kids.
Who chased her?
She said somebody in a silver
There was a guy
truck.
in a gray truck, and he came
So
around
she-
the corner,
I don't
and
know if you guys have a
I was in
reading.
the street, and so I come up, and I just have my kids, and so I'm like gonna pretend that I'm coming home, and so I pull up and I start walking to your back gate, and he stops here and he goes, "Are you looking for someone?" And I said, "Nope," and then he sat here, and I was like, "I need to get in."
Well, that's my husband. That's why he lives here. Yeah. He lives here. So he came in and he said there's this lady screaming. And I'm like, that's...
She got all worried that she
scared the crap out of me.
How?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
How did he scare you,
I
though?
had a feel.
I just seen her in the driveway and I was like, are you looking for somebody? Because I was pulling up out
And I saw someone walking in our driveway, too. And I'm like, why is someone walking in our driveway?
I'm
Well, there
sorry.
we got it. All right, sorry.
What?
I don't.
She said that someone was following her. So you were walking from there?
You came this way, didn't you?
No, I came down this street right here.
Yeah.
And I was riding slow because I'm looking at our Christmas lights.
Well, you just have to understand my point of view. Being by myself with two kids, I just saw a car coming, and so I was like, oh, it scared me, and so I just pulled up here, and I kept thinking, this could be his house. But you didn't say, this is my home. You just said, are you looking? And I was like,
I did. When you was on the porch, you asked me, did I live here? I said, yeah.
And you said, no, you don't.
And you said, I don't think you do.
It was obviously, you could tell that I was really caught off guard.
Like, I'm pulling in my... It's like I'm pulling in my house. Like, this is not... This neighborhood is probably one of the best neighborhoods in Ohio.
It is.
I don't. You don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Well, I'm very sorry. I really hope that you're not upset with me.
Come on, baby. Go in the house. Let's go.
You told me that I didn't.
I'm sorry.
Followed 20 minutes home, and my car was broken into when I was at the store. And when I was a little girl, we had a man banging on our door and helicopters hovering over our home. So, did I overreact? Yeah, maybe a little bit. But I showed up at the door and I said that I was sorry 2 times. People are going as far as saying they're not genuine apologies, that I'm out to get them for whatever reason that is. I don't know how it could be twisted that way when I literally thought he was a white man. So I knew it wasn't going to stop there, but the Facebook page stuff was deleted. Not me ever asking for any of it to be deleted. I made a public apology to them through the video to a whole Facebook page of almost 500 residents in our neighborhood.
And all the things. So I want to jump on here because my Facebook is public, and for those of you guys who are telling me that I owe a public apology, one, I will not apologize for making any sort of racist remark. I am the furthest thing from a racist. I will, however, apologize that my expression could ever come across in such a way, or that somebody could think something of that nature of myself and my family. So long story short, I need to give the context because there's a lot of y'all who are, I'm sure, coming to my page right now not knowing. JB's coming down, hold on. Hang on. And he says, "This is my house." And I said, "I don't think that it is." And at that point, the only reason that I said that was because truly the awkward encounter of slowing up behind me, talking to us multiple times. I'm in this frantic state. It's late at night. I got my kids, my 2 babies. The lady at the door is not answering. There's no other homes that are well established. I mean, there's construction. It's a corner house. I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, I'm on the front porch. This truck literally is halfway up the driveway. And I was like, my radar was like, nope, I don't think that this is your house.
Understand that subconsciously, even when you feel like you are not a racist person, subconsciously you can still be racist. Have anti-black behavior or have an underlying fear of black people. This is a common thing that needs to be talked about. A black man comes home after a long day at work. He sees somebody banging on his door like a crazy person. He says, "Hey, are you looking for somebody?" Doesn't approach them, does not say anything aggressive. They say, "Do you live here?" He says, "Yeah, I do live here." They say, "I don't think you do." Grabs their kids and starts screaming to the top of their lungs. In your quiet neighborhood, "Help, help, help," as if you are attacking them, saying somebody is following them. Comes back with people. Comes back with their husband. And then when your wife and everybody says, "Hey, yo, he lives here. This is his house." Then you're like, "Oh, come on. You got to understand. You can't, are you really mad? Like, he is the problem here." And then your husband talks about "Oh, let's go. It doesn't matter." It does matter. White women need to understand their tears is literally the difference between life and death for us. Because you are screaming as if this man is attacking you. Somebody could come out there, a cop can come out there and put one straight through this man because of you on his front doorstep. White women control your fear. Control your internalized fear and work on your anti-black behavior. Talking about something, "I thought it was a white man." You're lying. You're lying. And we don't care for your white woman tears. Take that and you can go with it and just stay far away from us. This is a social media influencer, Michelle Bishop. Michelle Bishop, owner of TLE Fit.
As a black American, the scariest place to be in America is white people's imagination. I told y'all the story about how my neighbor saw me walking down the street. I don't even call her a neighbor. That's just the bitch that lived across the street. But I was walking down the street and I was coming back to my house from a walk. And I walked up my driveway to my door and I picked up a package. And this lady proceeds to come over here and start yelling and screaming at me that I didn't live here. And she kept threatening me to call the police, that she was going to call the police. And so I got in her face and I was like, "Call them, bitch." And then I turned around, unlocked my door, and walked in my house. And when the police came, she said that she called them because she was afraid, because she reacted poorly. She was afraid of what I was going to do with her, what I was going to do to her, because she had approached me on my property in my driveway and she tried to disguise it as a simple mistake. And I thank God to this day, this was like 3 years ago, I thank God to this day that I had cameras put on the front of my house. That white lady trying to make it seem like she's not racist and, you know, she's all upset because those people won't accept her apology. Like, She's not a Karen, okay? And I want y'all to start properly naming these people. I want y'all to start properly insulting these people. That lady is not a Karen. She's a Carolyn, as in Carolyn Bryant. Because what could her white woman tears have done had that Ring camera not been there? And then for her husband to come over there and like basically say like, you know, oh, it was just like a simple mistake, or oh, let's just forget it. No, let's not forget it. Because she tried to say, well, I didn't know that you lived here. He told you that. And your response was, I don't believe you. You're standing on my porch telling me that you don't believe that I live here. That situation is all too familiar to me. The only difference is it happened to me. It didn't happen to my husband. It didn't happen to one of my black male children, which I'm always telling my older son, who is 15 years old, 6'4". I tell him all the time, you gotta be careful with these white people, because to them, you look like a suspect simply by existing. She knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing, and she's on the internet crying about it because it did not work in her favor. She knew what she was doing. Her husband knew what she was doing. That man whose house it was, his wife knew what she was doing. And that's why she came outside. You save those goddamn tears. You cannot. I want people, and I know it's going to be hard considering who's getting sworn in as the president today and all of that. I know it's going to be hard for white people to step away from this idea of saying where black people should and should not live. But if those are the type of areas that you want to live in, go live there. They exist. But to be just out in a public place like that, that shit is crazy. And I'm going to say this, the wife is better than me because she sees all of this happening on the camera and she doesn't come outside until after the fact. Because me, if I would have seen that shit happening in real time, why the fuck are you on my porch? Who are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up and down, that story is crazy, but it's not, because it is a reality. There are so many Carolyns in this world. I live across the street from one. She was ready to lie on that man. And she was ready and willing to, whatever would have happened if them police came on that type of time, whatever would have happened, she would have been perfectly fine and slept perfectly good in her bed that night. And she probably still did. The only reason why she's upset right now is because she's getting the backlash that she's getting. Seriously.
So let me get this straight. You claim to have had a previous trauma that had you shook. That's why you reacted the way that you acted. But yet you outside with two small children walking alone at night. So because you say you think you're being followed, and I'll give you that one, you go stand on somebody's porch, and when the homeowner pull in the driveway and asks you, can he help you? You then ask him, is this your house? And he says, yes, this is my house. You then say, I don't believe you. Grab your babies and you take off running down the street screaming, help, 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 you're being followed. Your husband come back to that house, repeat what you said to the homeowners, and then the wife says, that's my husband. Then you say, I didn't know that. The husband then says, yes, you did. Because when you asked me if this was my house, I told you yes. Then here you go playing victim like y'all always do and say, okay, but you have to see it from my point of view. No, he did not. He did not. Then some way or another you apologized privately, and he did not accept your apology because he didn't have to. And because your ego got bruised, you went on the internet to try to garner some sympathy because you think you're entitled to some type of privilege because he didn't accept your apology. Because who is he to not accept your apology? And you got ate up. There you over here crying. Like, fellas, I am telling you, they are warming up. Get ready. Y'all better be safe out here.
I bring these clips because, to be honest, Black America in general is heading towards, is actually in a season that is going to be very difficult and very challenging. And that's why you should be vigilant and be aware that these things are going to be happening more often than any other time that you have ever seen these things. Because you are dealing with people that have always said over and over again that if, there was a chance for slavery to come back and for them to own slaves, they would actually be open to that. They've come out openly to say the ridiculous things they would do to you, they would do to your men, they would grape and do all of these things, right? So I think it is time, and to be honest, this happened before even Trump was sworn in as a president. Now you can only imagine what would happen next. And also in such situations, I ask myself questions like what would happen if, in this case, it was a black person that was walking in someone's driveway, or someone, you know, a black person that was on a palm-colored property. I'd be wondering, but at the same time, I know exactly what would happen because we have often seen the results of what happens when black people trespass, especially at night, even when they are not here to do any harm. Yeah, for many times we've seen those that have been injured and damaged for life, that sustained like literally life injuries. And we've also seen those that have lost their lives. But when it comes to palm-colored people, white people, it's the total opposite. People have the sympathy, people want to extend understanding, which is never extended to black people. That's why this is very, very important to look at these clips. And my thing is, all of this was calculated. If you look at the footage very well, you see that the lady is at this black man's porch and she asks, "Do you live here?" And he says, "Yeah." She's like, "I don't believe you." And I think he goes ahead to ask, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Calling for help." Someone has already told you they live here. And to be honest, you don't live here. Do you guys see that when she went to ask for help, she does not head towards the direction of the door of the house to ask for help? Rather, she goes sideways and she continuously screams. Maybe to give people impression that when someone comes, they find her in a deep darkness. And maybe that would manipulate other people to believe that maybe indeed this person was really doing something. Because if you needed help, the first help you would get was to knock on the door. But then she runs and goes in a different direction and comes out when the man has even left the truck and entered his house. And his wife is like, I've been seeing someone walking in our driveway and I'm wondering who is this? And she goes ahead, literally, because this is not panic, to be honest. This is not panic. This is nothing about panic, where she says, "Oh, I say, I didn't know that he lives here. He say he lives here." And you say you don't believe him. She goes ahead to be like, "Oh, I am sorry." Do you see how they play this entire situation to be just a minor thing? But if it was a black person, the ambulance would already be there picking a body. And these are some of the things that get talked about: the white women tears, the drama, and all of these things that they do because they know the law will always be on their side, right? I just don't get it. And then she has the nerves to come on the internet and cry and pretend that, "Oh, she's so sorry." By the way, with that entire video that I think I put, I think she was on a live stream where she's like, "I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry." She even has time to come on the internet to explain herself, and she thinks people are going to buy into this story, as if people have not seen so many of these things happen. What happened to Sonia Mercy? She called the police to come and see if there was someone that was, trespassing and walking on her property, and her life was taken. And yet she wasn't even a threat. How do you call the police for help and you end up losing your life? Imagine that. But they know it's very deliberate. They know when the police comes, there's definitely one body that is going to be taken down. Why do you always continue to put black people's lives in danger? And you come out on the internet and you're like, "I am not a racist," or "I am not this, I fight with you, I help you people," and all of that. But you literally fake and create situations that are going to take a woman's husband, a father, out of their lives. palm-colored women, that is the exact reason as to why black people will never trust you. Never trust you. Because we have a snake over here that bites from both sides. You are that's what you are. Because you fake being scared and then you bring incidences of, or something happened back, back then to me and, I was so afraid. Why is it that it has to always be a black man that you are afraid of? What have black men done to you? If you were to be safe, the best place you were to be safe at is a black man's hands. Is a black woman's hands. Because they know they have no option but to protect you, because if they do not protect you, the whole society is going to turn against them. This gets to me. I watched all of this while I am shaking. Because I cannot believe that one of you guys has to be in such a situation. And that's why I have a problem with people that suck to whiteness. Because they will always be like, it is just, these mere incidents. If you've not lived black people's experiences, and for my African people, because I understand that we have a lot of content creators that come out to be like, look, stereotypes exist for this reason. Shut up. Shut up. You don't know the generational trauma that has been passed for these people to live the way they live, for you to come out and judge their reactions and responses. And if a black person says they are not going to forgive you, they have every reason not to forgive you, because you calling me a liar. I said I live here and you're like, I doubt it. I don't believe you, right? So I just, it is such situations that always bring us out to speak about them. And when we speak about these things, unfortunately, when people come out to be like, oh, you guys are racist, or you guys don't want to unite, change your ways, change your behaviors, change the way you see our people. Call out those that are doing these things. Don't be quiet, because if you be quiet, then you're trying to, contribute. Your silence contributes to this. How many times are you supposed to be told that, to register that in your mind? How many black men and black women have to lose their lives at the hands of the white women tears for you to understand that this is the problem? When you guys really now have a president that is in office that literally wants to take race out of everything, which means anything that is going to happen to a black person is not going to be racially motivated. Do you see that there is a reason to target black people and minorities even the more? Why do we always have to come out and have to address these things when you see them too? How many of our people have to go for you to get it? And the more we keep shouting, that is the more we get to know that you don't care. Because if you did, you wouldn't be faking this. White women, your tears, your drama is hell on earth for black people. And you have a very special place in hell. I'm sorry, I'm not a judge. But for the things you do, you have a very special place in hell. And guess what? These curses are going to be passed to your generations and generations. That's why most of these people will continue to be miserable. Because they don't believe that a black person can be able to own a place or can live in a, in a very decent neighborhood. They don't believe it. That's why they keep popping their noses. Because I'm wondering at night, what were you doing in their driveway? What were you doing on their porch? For real. Anyways, this gets to me because I know I do have someone out there that is watching me, that really goes through these things. I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comment section, and please subscribe to the channel if you have not. I'll definitely see you in another amazing video. Until then, my name is Gracie and I love you. Bye.